Never stop reading Bible. Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal narratives in all of history, the story of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. We're going to be looking specifically at the account we find in the final 2 chapters of the Gospel of Matthew. We'll just follow the story as it's told there, from the final judgment all the way to the final command.
So our story really kicks off in chapter 27 with what you could call a final judgment. It opens with Jesus being handed over to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, and that really sets the stage for a whole series of intense, fast-moving events.
And things happen fast here. Jesus is brought before Pilate, who's the Roman authority, right? And Pilate publicly says he finds no reason to condemn him. But the pressure from the crowd is just huge. And, well, he's worried about a riot. So he makes a choice. He gives in. And he condemns an innocent man to death by crucifixion.
You know, while all of this is unfolding, there's this really dark side story going on that shows you the kind of despair that was gripping everyone. Judas, the disciple who started this whole thing with his betrayal, is just so overwhelmed by guilt that he takes his own life. It's a tragic, immediate consequence of the events he put into motion.
All right, so with this sentence passed, the story now moves from the governor's palace to the place of execution, a hill called Golgotha. And this is where we witness the death on the cross.
After just immense suffering, Jesus dies. His body is then taken down by a follower, and it's laid in a brand new, unused tomb. A stone is rolled into place, and honestly, from any earthly perspective, it really seems like the story has reached its tragic final end.
But here's a really fascinating detail. The religious authorities, they remember that Jesus had talked about rising after 3 days. So they go to Pilate, and they take every possible precaution. They seal the tomb with this giant stone, and even post a guard to make sure his followers can't sneak in, steal the body, and then claim some kind of miracle. And all that security? Well, it leads us directly into chapter 28 and one of the most famous scenes in history, the empty tomb. And right here, the whole tone of the story just flips. I mean, it shifts dramatically from total despair to pure astonishment. So the authorities' security was meant to prevent a story from getting out, but they just couldn't stop what happened next. At dawn on the first day of the week, some of the women who followed Jesus went to the tomb, and what they found there was an absolutely earth-shattering revelation. They find the tomb is open, the guards are completely shaken, and there's an angel who delivers the message that changes everything. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. This one moment immediately splits the whole narrative into 2 completely different, competing stories. So right away, you have these 2 competing realities. On one side, you've got the official story, which was basically made up by the authorities. They've made the guards to spread a rumor that the body was stolen. But on the other side, you have the eyewitness account from the women, a divine announcement of a resurrection. One is an attempt to control the story, the other is the spark of a whole new movement.
But the story doesn't just end with rumors about an empty tomb. Matthew's account actually concludes not with an ending, with this powerful new beginning, what's now known as the Great Commission. So following the angel's instructions, the 11 remaining disciples, and you have to imagine, they are probably still terrified and confused. They travel to a mountain in Galilee, and it's there that they finally meet the risen Jesus. And he gives them this final, profound mission that is going to define their entire future.
This directive, the Great Commission, this is really the core mission statement for the Christian faith. And it's a radical shift. The mission is no longer focused on just one nation, but on all nations. And he tells them not just to convert people, but to teach them a new way of life. This is the exact moment a small group of followers gets tasked with becoming a global movement.
And he doesn't just leave them with a command. He leaves them with this incredible promise, this final assurance. Surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age, is how Matthew's entire account wraps up. It's a promise that's really designed to turn the despair of the cross into a message of enduring hope and purpose for whatever's coming next.
This has been an explainer on the pivotal events described in Matthew chapters 27 and 28.